Well, welcome back to the Apostolic Center podcast, and I'm glad to be with you. Very exciting thing coming the first weekend in February. It's called our Marriage Retreat, and our theme this year is going to be Workonomy, and you'll have to figure that out, and you can ask about it with Sister Lisa. We'll talk a little bit about it, but exciting theme, the Buxtons. Joel and Aisha, a young pastor and his wife, are coming to minister to us in our marriage retreat. And so we're looking forward to it. And make no mistake that our marriages, each one of them has a bullseye on them by the enemy. I mean, if the devil can take out anybody, he wants to take out marriages. We've seen the incredible onslaught against our marriages the last few years, and the way that it just destroys families and relationships. The enemy, if he can just find a wedge to get in, he would love to destroy our marriages. Marriage retreat is a protection for each marriage. It's a time we come together. It's a time we spend as couples. We get away. We talk about marriage. We talk about the things of God, why we're married, what needs to happen in a marriage, how I need to respond, how I need to react, and what the differences are. And I don't know if any of you really know this, but I'm going to clue you in on something today, and that is that men and women are different. Thank God. Even from their very origins, they're different. Man was made from the dust of the ground. A woman was made out of the man or another human being. So when we look at marriage, our origins are even different. And so both made by God, but very, very different origins. It just makes us different. Sometimes we call it the blue and the pink. We call it man and woman. We call it husband and wife. But the reality is that all of us need to realize is that we're different. And so when there's differences of opinion, differences of how to do things, differences of how we were raised, then what that does is sometimes it can cause us to look at ourselves and say, am I being really what I need to be to my spouse? And so when I thought about the podcast today, I thought of the 5 steps. Now, are you ready for this? To maximize your differences, not to try to be more alike. We try to do that. We try to be as compatible as possible, and I'm not against compatibility. I think it's good, that you enjoy some of the same things. But the reality is we need to learn how to maximize our differences. And how you do that is 5 ways. Number 1, you identify your differences. For me, I stay up late. Sister Lisa gets up early. I like to spend. She likes to save. I like fun and adventure and spontaneity and flexibility, and she loves routine and ritual and structure. And so we've learned to identify our differences, and that's okay. We're different, and that's the way God made us, and God put us together. So it's okay, but you got to identify your differences. Number 2, look for the assets in your differences. And so we look for the good things that come out of that. Because she's structured, because she has everything set in order, when I do want to be spontaneous, I actually have some socks in the drawer and a t-shirt to be able to go and be spontaneous. And so we look for assets in our differences. And then, she likes me because I just have to tell you, I'm just a lot of fun. And then number 3, you learn from your differences. And so I'm learning this process of acts of service. It's so important to her. And she's learning that I just like spending time with her. And then number 4, to maximize your differences, replace condemnation with affirmation. Instead of condemning that your partner or spouse is different than you, why don't you begin to reaffirm, I'm glad God put you in my life. He gave me just what I needed. The part that was missing in me, he gave me you. And the fifth and the last one is discover a plan for maximizing your difference. Let's maximize them. Let's just throw caution to the wind and say, look, you be you, I'll be me, we'll get along, we'll love each other. And this is a time for us coming together. So marriage retreat is an exciting time. Let's make sure that we all sign up for marriage retreat the first weekend in February. God bless you. You won't be sorry.